This assignment for Intro to Computer Science is about error correction in HTML coding, and I will show you how to get everything you need and a few things that will kind of help you along through the assignment, and then off you will go. The first thing you have to do to get this assignment going is get to your redpride.net Gmail address. You'll have to get on Google and get to your Gmail. The redpride.net address is your user ID, first initial, last name, and the 4 digits at redpride.net. So if you're signed into your Google account and you go to your Gmail, that should show up. And somewhere in your Gmail, I already sent this out, in your Gmail you should have an email from me. This is, you're looking right now at my email, so it doesn't look like yours, but you should have an email from me that has, it says something error correction for the subject, and it has this link in it. Alright, so here's what you do with this. You click the link and it's going to look like this, which is really not very helpful. So what you have to do is look way down at the bottom of the screen. There's a little series of buttons that says like Built on Code Studio, Report Abuse, View Code. That's the one we want right down here, View Code. We want to click on that. So when you click the link in the email, it should bring you to here. You click on View Code and it takes you to code.org, and it takes you into the web lab. And it has a bunch of code in here, which I'll tell you more about in just a minute. Now, for right now, you will not be able to edit this. So the next thing you have to do is come up here to the top and click on the button that says Remix. When you click Remix, it makes a copy of the project and kind of, gives you full editing capability. So I'm going to go ahead and click Remix. And then you may also want to hit Rename. Right? I'm going to get in here and say Rename, and I'm going to take out the name, and I'm going to say error correction or something like that. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and save that name, and bingo. All right, now let's look at what we've got here. See if I can zoom up on this some. Yeah, I can. All right, so there's already code in here, and it's showing up over here on the right-hand side in the preview window, but it doesn't look like it should. Heads up. For example, here on line number 9 of the code, these things that start with a bracket and an exclamation mark are called comments. I put them in there to kind of help you along. They do not show up in the code over here at all, but those are comments whenever it starts with a bracket and an exclamation mark. And it tells you here, and you don't really have to count them as you fix them, but it tells you in here that there are 20 errors in the code, and your mission is to find them and correct them. Now this next comment at line 11 says like line 13 of the code should be a large heading, and then line 14 should just be slightly smaller. Alright, so if you look at line 13 right there, that's not going to make it. If you look over here on the right hand side, that's not making a large heading. It should be large. So there's a problem with it being a large heading, and the thing that this is kind of a test of is, let me get rid of that. The thing that this is kind of a test of is fix it. Right? What would make that a large heading? And then this one on line 14 should just be slightly smaller than this one. And that's not the way it is. If you look over here on the right hand side right now, that's not the way. It's not working the way it should. So you're going to have to change that code some. Then it goes on here. It says line 18 should be a heading, but it needs to be medium sized. All right, and it has a problem too. So if you look at the heading right here, there's a problem with the heading, and it's really not medium sized. This should be kind of a medium sized heading, and heads up, H3 and H4 are kind of the medium sized headings, but look, these numbers don't even match. So you got to fix the code, right? Then another comment here says at line 21 says here comes an unordered list, but it's got some problems. And so there's supposed to be the start of an unordered list right there and the end of an unordered list right there, and there's a bunch of list items right here, but there's problems with the code. Sometimes the code is wrong, sometimes the code is missing. So your job is to get in there and use everything you know to try and fix it. See if you can fix it. And if you look over on the right hand side over here, that doesn't look good. I should zoom this back. And now the rest of the way as we go through here, the dwarf profiles, this is a silly web page that I made. and it's got the 7 dwarfs. Each dwarf should have the heading should be an H4. Well, if you'll look at the code for that heading, there is a problem with that code, and your job is to fix the problem. It should be an H4 heading, right? And there's an issue with that. And then each one of these, where it describes the dwarf, like from the 7 dwarfs, from Snow White and 7 dwarfs, it should be a paragraph. So it ought to have a paragraph tag at the beginning and a stop paragraph tag or an end paragraph tag at the end. And the problem, I'll tell you right now, the problem with this on line number 42 is it doesn't have an end tag, right? It's got a start tag right there. The paragraph starts, but the paragraph doesn't stop. And that's the issue. You got to fix it, right? And then this should be an H4 heading. There's a problem. Got to fix it. This should have paragraph tags, where it says he would just like for you to think he's dopey, right? That's supposed to be a paragraph. This should be an H4 heading. This should be a proper paragraph. So you got to look at all the tags and just look at the things that are wrong and fix them, right? That's the job on this assignment. Look at all of these things and fix the things that are wrong. Now, remember that anytime you do something like this on the web lab, it saves for you automatically, and also because I'm the teacher of the course, I'll be able to see your work. All right, so you work your way all the way down, and then happy is the last one, and you fix all the headings, fix all the paragraph tags, and then you've got it, right? Yay. All right, so give this one a shot and see how you do.